and then going, welcome to the Cafe Nelly Show. I'm your host, the Goldsmith. It is the second of April, 2024. It happens to be Tuesday. It happens to be the second day of our new System Blossom season, and the sale that was promised, or one that we had hoped was going to be earlier instead of later, is here, or at least the registration is open therefore. So we will get into that, what the offering is, what the bundles are, a little different than buying just an ornament. They did build some bundles around this. They have a burn mechanism. There's a few different things and a few different layers to the sale. There's a gated entry to get into another sale. The other sale is going to be UpX related. A lot of details to get into. So we will get into all of those. Obviously, up front, that is the big announcement, or the majority of the big announcement coming in for today. Again, ornaments, block explorers, map assets, a gated sale, buying into UpX sale by buying into a USD to start. So lots on that list. There's a lot to get into, and we'll get into all of those pieces. The other piece, obviously, of today is the upcoming and fast approaching Genesis Week exhibitors deadline, or if you want a booth, to get in and apply for one now. So we'll get into that as well. Make sure we know about that. And of course, we are in Blossom season in full force, aka if you do have and you did burn your Blossom season pass, you got your first drop today. We'll get into those drops. And that badge is already dropped, so you would see that as well if you had burnt your pass. So before getting into all of that, obviously get the disclaimer out of the way. All views and opinions expressed by myself are mine and mine alone. Shouldn't be taken as game strategy. Shouldn't be taken as financial advice. Anybody who is, and Banana dipped out here, but anybody who is on as a guest, including myself or anyone else, their views are their own. They shouldn't be taken as game strategy or financial advice. They don't represent the game or the team of Upland. And again, we try to get the news and the information out in a way that's palatable, as well as to have a little bit of comment along the way. Hopefully, there's a line there where we can see where the news of the day ends, and some thoughts on the sideline, and some context obviously stands with it. Getting into everything, of course, the big thing to start with, got to start with where the news is: ornaments, block explorers, map assets. Oh my. If you are on YouTube, let's get that shared over so you can take a look and see what I am taking a look at here. Announcement earlier today, obviously, a little different way of doing this. We know, and I it's my opinion, that Upland owes us early in the season a sale of the structural ornaments. And that's because they have a contest that runs through the season. That's because they have 25 days or running. Hi, Blue. 25 days running as one of the check marks, one of the tasks along the way for our earnings, or for our task to be part of the gamified earnings for next season. So there is a reason to have the sale of the ornaments early, and I'm glad that Upland's doing this up front. I'm glad we're not having to wait for this, which is a good thing. And let's take a look, because again, it's a little different structure than we saw last season. In this sale, we are going to have registration kicked off. It's already going. It's going to have registration open until tomorrow, Tuesday, Wednesday. We're on Tuesday, Wednesday, the 3rd of April, 9 a.m. PT is when the sale is. Obviously, 8 a.m. PT is when that registration ends. Key notes on this, as always, is it is a register ahead, get to the sale, see how lucky you get in line, mint, purchase when you can, and we're going to see some of these bundles sell out before the others, because that is one of the things that we have happen, is if you give people differentiated options, they're going to sell at different rates. So we'll get into the specifics there. Again, picking up these bundles, they're going to unlock a separate sale. There's going to be burn mechanisms, a lot to get into. Let's get into the full announcement and look at it procedurally, piece by piece. Blossom Season Ornament Bundles sale and special events. The Ornament Sale and Challenge. To kick things off, we remind our players that we do have the ongoing Ornament Challenge. Again, every season, we're going to see this. We're going to have prizes at the end. We're going to have prizes on a weekly basis based on drawings. With weekly winners drawn for Spark, participation is key. And I did get 0.05 Spark last season during their cycles of the drawing for the leaderboard, leaderboard placement. It is a random drawing for the top 50, so stay in the top 50, get drawn potentially. 0.05 sparks, a pretty decent prize just for participating. I didn't buy any more ornaments that I was going to buy anyways to be part of that the contest, so I can't complain. But those prizes at the end are pretty nice too, so keep that in mind. So with the ornament challenge already kicked off, obviously Upland owes us some blossom ornaments, and that's what we're going to be getting here. So one way to jump into that action and to be part of that competition is to pick up some new blossom ornaments direct from Upland. Obviously, I mentioned yesterday, I'm going to continue to put it out there. We do have some ornaments that are out there that are on the market from UGC, from actual creators. So no qualms there. There's stuff on the market. Looking for it on the secondary. Look for it from on the primary from the people who are creating those those ornaments, who are creating the UGC. But also this is a sale Upland's doing directly, and some of these assets are a little bit of fun, or actually I should say all of these. They're fun for me because we'll get into the theme here, but I love steampunk. I think it's a great aesthetic for people who wanna just delve in it a little bit. It's a fun way to represent this neo-futurism or the antiquarian futurism. What do you want to call it? So we'll take a look at what designs are coming out. But there's also some interesting things that Upland's kind of done thematically to kind of put this idea of Upland in with or mixed into this idea of steampunk. Ornament sale and challenge to kick things off. We remind players of the ongoing challenge. Obviously, we mentioned that. There will not be just ornaments in these bundles. They're also your ticket to potentially winning Spark and adding to your exclusive touch on your collections for your structure ornaments. Remember, each bundle comes with one structure ornament and one random block explorer. So block explorers is going to be a burn event on. We'll get into those. And then obviously structure ornaments are going to be what your goal is here in this sale. Again, this is a structure ornament sale. I see the block explorer as a kicker. So take a look at some of these models here as examples. There is a small townhouse here. So here is, excuse me, here's a small townhouse. Here's another version of a small townhouse, version 2 here. We'll get into some of those more of those options, but we don't see all of them in a handy place just yet. The bundle sale, obviously, this bundle sale is happening tomorrow, 9 a.m. PT, as earlier mentioned. The sale of the price ranges are going to be between $14 and $20 USD. This is a theme. It's happened. It's happened again. It's going to happen again. USD on the primary is going to be selling these, or these going to be sold in USD on the primary from Upland. We're going to turn around and we're going to see them, a lot of them listed at a much higher price than Optics in the secondary shops, in the ornament shops. I happen to have one. A lot of people have one. And we see some people specifically going and buying in the USD and choosing to put them in the shops on the Optics side. So there is an Optics market. Just don't expect the 1,000-to-1 conversion ratio between the USD and the Optics side. There will be ornaments for sale on the Optics side, or on the USD side as well, the Optics side and the USD side in the shops. Again, people buying, maybe not getting what they want, maybe buying specifically for the flip because there's going to be a limited number of ornaments. We'll see how that sugars out. But in the meantime, this sale is open. Get registered if you choose to be participating. We know not everybody participates on the USD side. Look at these ornaments. It looks like a little Zeppelin there, a little blimp action going on over here. This one is just some sales, it looks like, and theoretically sales if we look on steampunk type genre, wings and sails and tied into airships and all of that. And that looks like what we're looking at here. And then we have a pretty simple, relatively true to life basketed hot air balloon. Pretty cool stuff. And again, the structure ornament that goes around it, it's very I would say ornate. I'd say that they did a pretty good job of being ornate, staying with the theme, making things detailed, and making them look pretty good this time around. I can complain when I can complain, but I don't see a lot to complain about with these models. I will put the complaint out there, and I put it out there before, that there's been some pushback back and forth about whether we should have representation of transportation in the game of Upland, because Upland reserves the right for the future transportation in the game. We don't want to have confusion. Obviously, Upland's choosing to represent transportation in the game of Upland. I would take it, hopefully, as meaning they have no plans or designs on hot air balloons in Upland, because that would be confusing to me if we end up having real hot air balloons or hot air balloons as assets or travel with by hot air balloon. But one can hope maybe they steampunk Upland out and we have Zeppelins one day. We'll have to see how that goes. But the Retro Future Burn, again, that's what Upland's calling this, is Retro Future, as opposed to saying steampunk. Retro Future Burn. Collect these distinctive and stunning block explorers or opt to burn them for rewards. At $12 to $14 a package, or sorry, $14 to $20 a package. I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm tearing that apart in a different way than it's parsed. But $14 and $20 a package, you're gonna have to break apart and say the ornament is this portion of it, the block explorer is this portion of it. So whatever value you would apply to that block explorer, you can choose to say, hey, I'm going to burn 4 of these, and we'll get into that specific burn mechanism, but I could choose to burn 4 of these and then get a prize on the end. We'll see if those prizes are worth it. There's relative rarity tied in here. So, people are incentivized, of course, to buy many of the ornaments because there is that relative rarity hit. You could either emphasize the relative rarity hit by trying to sell on the market. If you get lucky, you can emphasize the relative rarity hit by going in your own burns, because there is different rewards for different burn levels. But we'll get into that specifics here of what that looks like. But just to say, Upland is playing with that relative rarity factor again. I think it is something that Upland likes to play with. It gets people involved from the, do I get lucky this time around perspective. It's a little bit of a gambling. It's a little bit of a reason to buy just one more bundle. Maybe I'll get lucky. Collect these distinctive and stunning block explorers, and again, other option there is go burn them. Here's our burn options. So there's different sets. Again, relative rarity. There's the gold set. You would earn 75,000 UPX, 0.1 spark, a wearable, and a chance to win 1 of 10 properties in the new city coming during Blossom season. So this is what our golds look like. There is the Gear Grazer, the Bolt Brain, the Iron Bloom, and the Voyager sets. Again, Gear Grazer, Bolt Brain set, the Iron Bloom set, and the Voyager set. So we've got different colors of balloons here. We've got different colors of, looks like we'll call it an Iron Rose because it says Iron Bloom. There is different versions of this little robot here for the Bolt Brain set. And then for the Gear Grazer set, obviously a llama that looks like he's, maybe mechanical in one way or another. 4 different colors to make that set there. That's a fun little thing here. For these, you get 75,000 UPX. You get a wearable. You get a chance at 1 of 10 properties in a new city during Blossom season. Details to come soon. And go look up what we lose. What did we lose? Well, gold gets us a 0.1 spark. We're not going to see that. We're not going to get that out of the Gear Grazer, Bolt Brain, Iron Bloom, or the Voyager sets. And now one other thing to keep in mind. 1, 2. Here's my mouse. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we've distributed this to 5 different sets. So if I go and I buy 4, 5, 6, 7 sets with relative rarity falling, I'm not going to get any of these sets because there's such a variety of what's out there for assets. Keep that in mind when you're buying. Just keep that in mind. I mean, you could be putting $150, $200 USD in to buy these and not complete a set natively, which means you're probably going to go into the secondary market, which means at least for a short period of time, there's going to be at least a little bit of a run up on the market on these particular block explorers. We'll have to see how that runs. But wait, there's more. There's some more sets here to go. There's going to be a copper set, a cobalt set, and a mauve set. Again, just colored. Here's the unified color with different shapes. So that's essentially 1 of these llamas, 1 of these robots, 1 of these Iron Blooms, and then 1 of these Voyagers, but with a specific color. That's copper, that's cobalt, that's mauve. And they are tiered here. The copper is 50,000 optics and a chance to win one of 3 properties. Cobalt is 35,000 and a chance to win one of 2 properties. And a mauve is 20,000 optics and a chance to win 1 property. Now, here's my math. My math says 20,000 optics. I'm going to have to buy at least 4 of these sets. I'm probably going to buy 10 of these sets to complete a mauve as a native, that aka not trading, not swapping, not selling. I would have to buy 10 or more. It's just math. Maybe it's less than 10, but we're talking about hundreds of dollars, or at least, closing in on $100+ to complete this mauve set. And then you're going to trade that in and burn these and get 20,000 optics and a chance to win a property. I don't know if that burns worth it. Again, that's up to you and how you value the Block Explorer as a portion of that sale. Keep in mind that the ornament is still a large focus, or may carry the majority of that value. But on the other side, on the flip side, if we've got these 4 golds here, and I burn these 4 golds, I'm going to get 75,000 optics and 0.1 spark and a wearable, and I'm going to get a chance of 1 of 10 properties. We're going to have to see how these markets work. They always work a little different. I sometimes feel when I see these things happen that there is, over that short period of time, a lot of hype, a lot of FOMO, a lot that gets built into it. And people are almost willing to pay more than makes sense for certain items to be able to be prepared for the burn, because they have 3/4 of the set and they want that last one. Maybe this gold balloon is going to be worth almost the entire value of the reward, because somebody, in one way or another, in an easy way, without putting too much effort into it, or just as a product, as a byproduct of buying the ornaments for their own purposes or for the purposes they choose to use them for, and now they only need this to complete this set. Maybe they're going to play the majority of the value of this 75,000 optics plus 0.1 spark plus a wearable plus the potential of a property. Maybe they're going to pay the majority of that just for this balloon. So I see that happen all the time on these sets. We don't know what will happen. Make your choices. Do what you want to do. Maybe you'd rather have these block explorers and keep them long term. Maybe if you get the mauves down here and you've collected 3 of the 4, maybe it's not worth putting a ton of optics out to buy this 4th one, or USD out to buy this 4th one for a chance at 1 property and 20,000 optics. Maybe you just go ahead and say, I'm going to keep these 3 here, and they're worth more to me on an individual basis than the burn. And that's an option you have. I think Upwind has to consider and scale the value of these burns. What do you get for what are you giving up? What's the original cost, the cost to purchase in the first place, plus the likely run up in the market? What's the relative rarity, or how does relative rarity impact people's possibilities or likelihood of getting prizes or winning prizes on a native basis without going to the secondary market, without paying significant without paying significant run up or participating in a significant markup in those cases. So definitely a consideration for Upwind moving forward. But wait, there's more. You take part in the ornament sale, the ornament bundle sale, because you want to own ornaments. Okay. That's where I am. That's what I want to do. But there's a splash event. There's a splash event that if you participate in one, you get to participate in another. If you don't participate in the first, you can't participate in the second. And this splash event is retrofuturistic map assets unveiled. This is fun because Upwind's doing something here that I've asked for them to do. Again, they're not listening to me necessarily, but I've said on a large basis, I would love to see more of it. Hey, KO Ninja, good to see you. I want to see more of it, and that is an Upix sale. Additionally, anyone who purchases at least 1 bundle will gain access to the exclusive Blossom Season map asset UPX only sale. Again, don't have to put the USD out for this sale, but you do have to buy USD on the other sale to qualify. This special sale not only allows for the acquisition of map assets, but also includes an exciting drawing where 3 lucky players will win a property in the newly exclusive Bermuda, which I traveled to. I went to Mint. I didn't get an opportunity to purchase because there was more buyers than there were properties. Some people got more than 1 property. I got 0. So that was the case for a lot of people. That was a case for 9 out of 10 people who had traveled to Bermuda. unable to mint properties. Definitely in the same boat as many people, but this would be an opportunity for me to get my first Bermuda property. For each UPX purchase, participants will receive one random retro futuristic Blossom season map asset. Each purchase will also get you one entry into that property drawing. So here are the 3 map assets. There's Bolt Buddy, there's Mech Mover, there is Steel Synapse, and they're all robots. Look at them robots. There'll be 100 total of the Bolt Buddy. There'll be 150 total of the Mech Mover, and there'll be 200 total of the Steel Synapse, which means do the math, and we've got 450 total of these UPX blind bags. So we call them blind bags because you get one of these 3, but you don't get in a queue for anyone specifically. The sale and the drawing information here, the dates and details. Monday, April 15th at 8 a.m. PT. The sale starts on the 16th at 9 a.m. PT. Obviously, the 24-hour registration period does end at 8 a.m. PT on Tuesday, the 16th. The sale, Tuesday, the 16th at 9 a.m. PT. This is going to be a UPX sale price of 10,000 UPX, and I would argue that's cheap compared to the number of USD sales and the prices of USD sales have been happening. I've got a bunch of UPX. I'm getting about $10,000 a day, or 10,000 UPX a day in my dividends. Thank you, Blossom season. Thank you that we don't have that 4.9% because I did do my 5 tasks last season. And I do want to put the note out for those who are still having issues. Even though it says that your amount, the amount you're getting in your dividends is a certain amount, that's based on your 4.9%. It does not include your multiplier. There's a separate place where you're going to see that as far as earnings when you do look at your earnings, when you go to redeem and pick up your earnings, but you're not going to see that in a separate location under your properties tab. That's simply because those 2 numbers are separate. The calculations are separate. Upland has not yet corrected. For many people, it's not yet corrected the way that is displaying. So don't fret. You are getting the right amount. It's just not displaying in both places. And again, it's unfortunate, but it does sound like it's something that Upland's keeping track of or getting fixed. And at the moment, I'm still getting the dividends I deserve, which I say deserve because I quote unquote earned them at 14.7%. As opposed to the new baseline of 4.9. With that out of the way, my 10,000 UPX that I get every day could get me one of these map assets, which, again, isn't going to cost me USD, just USD to get registered for it. Exclusive to those who purchase a structure ornament bundle. Again, one structure ornament bundle gets you gated into this opportunity. It's still randomized. There's only 450 of them available. With the price, as far as I see it, low in UPX, I could buy a bunch of these, but there's gonna be a number of people who want to buy a bunch of these, so we'll see how quickly they sell out. And then look at this. But wait, there's more. Here's some more. We've got the Spring Sprout, 100 of those, 150 of the Bolt Bloom, 200 of the Iron Iris. Drum roll, please. That gives us another 450. It's a total of 900. See, wait, there's more. Like I said, there's only 450 of these robots. Now there's another 450 of those flowers. Now there's 900 of the sale available. Now I might be able to get a second. We'll see how that goes. The important cutoff dates, because there's a burn here, so we do have cutouts on our burn. Thursday, April 11th at 9 a.m. PT. That is the deadline to burn Block Explorers. Again, that's the last day you can burn your Block Explorers in order to earn those rewards that we talked about up in the head of the show, up in the head of this announcement. Friday, March 12th at 9 a.m. PT. That's the deadline for your ornament purchase to qualify for the map asset sale. And then on the 17th, that's Wednesday the 17th, 9 a.m. PT, deadline for map asset purchases to enter the Bermuda property drawing. I want to put an emphasis here, or an emphasis that Upland didn't put. That's that these are limited sales. There's a limited number of them available. It's likely not a matter of wait toward the end of those deadlines to go and buy those. Likely, the ornament bundles are going to get sold out. Likely, the map asset sales are going to get sold out. Again, not telling people they have to buy anything that they're not interested in buying. It's just that it's a reality worth planning. Don't see the deadline and think there's as many as I want to buy, because that's not how that works. The blossom season is upon us. Seize the opportunity. Amplify your upland adventure with these unique offerings. Whether you're eyeing the exclusive rewards, aiming to enhance your game with retro-futuristic aesthetics, or simply looking to expand your upland asset portfolio, there's something for everyone in this season's lineup. Happy exploring, and may the Blossom season bring you fortune and fun. It's a sale. People are spending USD to buy an asset, a digital asset. People are turning around, burning those assets, and getting a reward. Again, there's a finite reward here. I appreciate when we do a burn event and you know you're getting something. We've had these burn events in the past where you burn something, you don't know you're going to get something. It's a chance, it's an entry. You may get something. You may get a random opportunity reward, but at least you know what you're getting. You burn gold, you get this. You burn Mauve, you get this. If you have 4 of the Mauve and you say the juice isn't worth the squeeze, the prize isn't worth it, I'd rather have 4 block explorers that I could do whatever I want with for 2 years, 3 years, 6 years down the road. If I want to have them as block explorers or sell them as block explorers or use them as block explorers, I can do that, or I can burn them. So if that's going to be the mechanism this time around, they can keep doing that, I'm happy because people know what their choice is, as opposed to burning assets and crossing our fingers and maybe we'll get something on the other side. So very much appreciate when a burn makes sense. Very much appreciate when people have as much information as they need to make this decision. The one thing that we don't have in the announcement, and I'm going to actually have to go to the game of Upland in order to help share and shed a light on, is going to be in the announcement, the quantities available for the different ornament bundles are not listed. And it always confounds my mind a little bit when they aren't in these announcements. I will understand that it's kind of good that it's pointing people back in game and to get in the store to do the registration and find out more. But it would be nice if it was in there. Obviously, I did see there was a lot of details on everything else, but there was the details here on the bundles. Let's get into those bundles. We did see that we didn't have the numbers also on the number of the mauve versus the gold versus the other sets that we do have there versus the copper, whatever other sets we have there. But we can kind of ascertain by taking a look here that the mauve are going to be the commons, and there's going to be a lot of them. So let's take a look at what we have available in terms of the quantities of these ornament sales. So to be sold for ornaments, we are going to have the micro house bundle. There's going to be a total of 600 of those available. If you do go and purchase those, and here's the rub, or here's the punchline, is that's going to be the $13.99 one. And there are 600 of those available. It's interesting because there's only 400 available of the ranch house. We know that micro house builds are easier or take less spark hours. There's more of them in the game. I guess that makes sense. $15.99 for the ranch house. $15.99, aka $16, might as well round up, for the small townhouse bundle version 2, or small townhouse version 2 bundle. There's a small townhouse bundle as well. That is $15.99. Definitely worth noting. The small townhouse version 1 is the one with the pointed roof, the peaked roof. You've got a gable end, and the small townhouse version 2 is the one with the flat roof. So if you want to know what you're buying, that's what you're buying. $16 for each of those. If I'm rounding up, again, that penny counts to some people. So $15.99. The Luxury Ranch, there are going to be 100 of those available at $17.99 for the bundle. Again, keep in mind, you're getting the structural ornament. You're also getting the Block Explorer. For the Townhouse bundle, there are going to be 500 of those available at $17.99. At $19.99, there's 300 apartments available. Again, 300 apartments, $19.99. And apartments, there's a lot of apartments in the game of Upland. They take longer to build, but they look better as far as I'm concerned. They tend to look really good decorated or with ornaments on them. So they end up being on the pricier side of things. They are the priciest one to have and to have put on your structure. $19.99 for that bundle. All told, we do have, let's do the math here real quick. about 3,000. Yeah, looks good. Looks about right. Looks about right. There are over 3,000 of these total ornaments available, or total bundles available. Of those bundles, again, half or not half, every single bundle is going to have one block explorer. Half of that package, or half that bundle is going to be block explorer. Half of that bundle is going to be ornament. What percentage of that bundle you say that what percentage of the USD cost goes to each of those? That's up to you. Some people will argue that the block explorer is a bonus because they're buying that ornament for the ornament. They're getting the bonus as a block explorer that they could burn, and maybe that's why Upland is looking at those mobs and saying you only get 20,000 optics for burning 4 of them. Maybe that's what Upland's idea is. Maybe there's going to be so many of those that they have a different value, or the market sees them as having a different value than other block explorers. But again, we'll see how this figures out. Again, that's up to the economy. It's up to all of us to make the decision. But for now, definitely worth considering that, when we do purchase a sale, there's going to be other layers here. A single purchase qualifies you to be part of that UPX sale, which, again, I've got enough UPX. I make enough UPX on a daily basis. A lot of us do, that I can go and say, I could go buy that with a day's worth of earnings for one of those map assets. It makes it a lot easier for me to justify it than $10. And I have to look at how many hours I have to work at work to that, or what's the alternative, because it's USD. If it's an in-game currency, if it's an in-game token, if it's the UPX, it's easier for me to say, okay, I don't have a convertibility. I'm not looking at buying a sandwich at lunchtime with that 10,000 UPX. So that's 10,000 UPX. That's where that's going. So just a consideration there. And maybe we continue to consider it moving forward. Upland does anyways, on the side of more of these UPX sales. I like them. I miss them. I see the need for USD sales. I enjoy the UPX sales when we have them. Blossom Season Pass is still open, $6.99. Today was the first burn. With our first burn, we did get a couple new things, obviously. So I should go here, take a look over here. Oh, I've already got it decorated. Look at that. So if I come down here, I'm going to see all the way down, almost there. We're almost there. We do have a new background. Look at that. This is for the Blossom Season 2024. Here's our new background. Come over here. Blossom Season 2024. Here is our new property card background, 2024 Blossom Season. Over here, my background for my block explorers right here, 2024. Oh, that's fun. It's beautiful. It's there. And then that's what we're looking at right now, with a caveat that we continue to see these added in. We get this little message here when this happens every time, where we do have come back down to our live updates. We're on a weekly basis. As we go and get those drops, we get this airdrops, our live email. We get this quick video from the team, a little bit of promotion here, but opportunity to see what your pass is. A reminder, we do see the theme, obviously, of the future antiquity, whatever we want to call it. I'll call it steampunk. The Blossom Season 2024 pass is the Floral Metropolis background for the Block Explorer background. Okay, get over to my other background. My background for my property cards is, they call the aeronautical background here. And our badge did drop, so anybody who earned the badge, you should have got it this week. You will get the badge again if you do burn later in the season. But of course, anybody who wants to maximize the value of those seasons passes, burn them in the beginning of the season. That way you gain each of the drops. You do not get retroactive drops. You got to do it at the right time to be there. KO Ninja, I'm proud of Upland. Great Bermuda release. Well, maybe a great Bermuda release for UKO, but I had some glitches. Was slow, but there was a lot of people minting at once, so it definitely can kind of understand what happened there. Good change in earnings tasks. Again, more power there. I do agree with that concept of of the earnings actually being kicked in. Again, I do see that it is good to have a new variety, so we change up what people are doing. It is encourage people to learn new aspects of the game. I went into some of those, and I do like the idea that we are rewarding people for participating this time around, not just for achieving, right? Not just for getting that that prize or getting that competitive treasure hunt, but actually starting it. Just to try, not necessarily having to be proficient, not necessarily having acquired the skill, but just by being willing to be part of that portion of the game. And yes, there are the things to buy for Blossom season. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. No idea what a Blossom ornament is. Jimmy Jester. You know what? Why are these steampunk ornaments called Blossom ornaments? I don't know, but they are in the Blossom season. Blossom ornament. Anything that is tied to Blossom seasons considered a Blossom ornament. They call them Blossom ornament for being tied to this season, and that means we get a reward for having them up during the season. They do qualify, they do count towards the leaderboard contest. But realistically, they can be run year round. If you get one of these steampunk inspired ornaments and you really like it, you can put it on your structure. You can leave it year round. You're not going to get the same benefit for it in Genesis Week. It's not going to count towards the leaderboard, the Genesis Week leaderboard. But keep in mind, the way these structure ornament contests work, it's only on collection property. So if you have structure in a non-collection property that's not in a collection, it's not going to count towards the leaderboard contest anyways. And maybe that's the one you put your steampunk on. I don't know. And leave that up year round. But it is kind of interesting, the choice here. But I will put it out there. Missed opportunity. It's called Blossom Season. Blossom Season in Japan, which we have Tokyo, is typically called Sakura. Is this cherry blossom season? We have a cherry blossom season as well. It's a big part of a city that could be part of Upland in the future, of DC. They have this cherry blossom season. People travel to DC for the cherry blossom season. They have all these cherry trees, and they're all in blossom at the same time. They're dropping these beautiful dainty pink flowers all over the place, and people again are traveling. They're moving in hundreds of miles. They want to be in DC at that time of year to see the cherry blossoms. And the same thing in Japan, where Sakura season, you see people travel to see the cherry blossoms. So with all of that, steampunk as opposed to cherry blossoms, again, a choice. It's kind of fun. I understand the difference between theme and seasonal proportionment, the time of the year it's happening as opposed to what it looks like. But again, I like a theme. I like it to represent something. But for me, I do like steampunk anyway. So Upland, you get a pass. We'll see what we do for Genesis Week. Maybe tomatoes. I don't know. It makes as much sense as anything. So we'll have to see how that goes for what our structural ornaments are for the next season. But that's what they are for this one. The sale is happening tomorrow. Registration today through tomorrow, 8 a.m. PT. We did look at the drops. The drops are live. I do want to get back into One Piece here. We've gone over it 3, 4, 5, 6 times, but Upland's making the reminder. They're making a reminder because we're getting really close. The cutoff here is this coming Sunday. It is the 7th. So Sunday, the 7th of April is your last day to apply if you choose to do so. That is specific to going in person live to Genesis Week. Again, that's still a opportunity that's open to people. You can still buy your Genesis Week in-person tickets. It is a consideration that I always tell people. I've told people for the last couple of years. It's a lot easier to make the decision, or it's a lot easier to make the reservations, I should say, if you do them ahead. Prices can be lower for flights. It can be, excuse me, it can be easier to take time off work if you do it a long time ahead. So I've been recommending people to make that decision earlier, start considering it early. There's reasons why people had to wait, lots of reasons, I should say. It is tax time in the United States, where people might be getting refunds, and that might help them, afford or pay for things, and I definitely get that. But realistically, we also see that the prices could be going up, or the availability of tickets or hotel rooms could be changing. So you may want to make the decision before the 7th, because if you decide to go, maybe you have a project, a layer 2 project, maybe you've been designing things in Upland and you're selling some really cool things in your structure ornament shop that you want to be able to have a booth and talk to people about and show off and potentially find yourself some real customers with a handshake or with a hello, as opposed to just on your Discord server or just on the game of Upland. So keep that in mind. It's a great way to cross over between the digital space that we inhabit and representing your business or your segment of Upland in a broad way. So again, these booths are immersive, interactive. There are opportunities for people to again shake hands or show off or have a little screen up and display a project that you're working on. And again, it's meant for the Upland community. Hey, Grizzly, good to see you. It's meant for the Upland community. It's meant to get out and be part of representation in the community that's already existing as the community continues to grow. But if you have a layer 2 project or you're developing something or you're going to try to bring something in as a dev shop, apply. We've had previous projects. Last year we had Polemo Games, come in with the X project. They kind of came in before they were ready to launch, which is absolutely great. It's good to get in early. They had a booth. People got exposed to what was going on. It was months before the project actually hit the game of Upland. That may be where you are. Maybe you're in a project that you are going to bring to Upland. You are going to have a dev shop. The project's not quite ready. Put it in the application. You have the opportunity to do so. That application is open until the 7th. So just keep that in mind. And it is an application. So Upland's going to have a limited number. There's more people who will apply. There may be more selection that goes into it. We'll see how this goes. But $100 is for the booth. The big thing I want to promote for the booth, and I said that last year, I say this again, a custom 23.5-inch wide by 79-inch high retractable banner. And what a retractable banner is, if you're not familiar, is you got a little roll, you get a little spring retention. It does come down. It has a little, you can put it on a little stand. Again, the last year, they looked great. I can't tell you how great they're going to look this year, but I like to be informed by the way things were in the past to see what the future looks like. And if that's the same quality that's given, I think your $100 value is right there. I've seen getting those made. In the marketing side of things, I've seen those get made anywhere between $70 and $150 for, depending on what they are, the quality, the number of colors, the quantity of those you're getting made. So those aren't always cheap to get made. So it's a pretty good value. And again, you bring that home, that's yours to keep. If you're going to exhibit somewhere else in the greater Upland universe and you have a sign that says Jimmy's whatever, whatever your dev shop is, and that's going to be something you're going to promote or discuss in the future. You want to have your background for your YouTube videos promoting your node, and you have the popsicle stick node over in Bermuda, whatever you got that you're trying to promote. It's your opportunity to have physical space, physical representation. You have a little table. There's going to be time for people to get in and learn about what you're putting out. And again, it's you having the opportunity to be the face of that. So this is something to decide whether you want to be a part of or not. Keep in mind, if you do get selected, you will get an email from Upland. Upland will follow up. You'll be able to pay that $100. Be a direct link to do so. If you don't get selected, you don't pay the $100, obviously, right? They don't take the money up front and then say sorry afterwards. You do have to get your designs in by Monday the 22nd of April, by 11:59 p.m. PT, again on the 22nd. To be participating, they have to have the time to make those banners. So just keep that in mind when you decide whether or not to participate, whether or not to apply, that you will have to come up with that art by the 22nd. So with that, those are the big pushes from today. We're going to continue to see that we are in this second quarter. I'm going to keep saying second quarter, until we get an AMA telling us more about what to expect this quarter. We have this start of the quarter, end of the last quarter, recap the last quarter, talk about the future quarter mentality for these AMAs or for some type of information. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to see one in the next couple of days. I do want to know what Upland's priorities are between now and Genesis Week. Be exciting to see that. We are the second day of April. We're outside of April Fool's Day. Upland got their little April Fool's joke with Bermuda. Again, I think it was a lower stress. For some people, got a little stressed about, but lower stress April Fool's joke than we've had in previous years. it's over with. But now we're in April, and I don't have our second iteration, our second cycle of life, or second cycle of the analog of life in totems. Eh, where are your totems? Where are your totems? I'd love to see that kick off. Love to see what else our priorities are this quarter. And again, I'm already on Genesis Week countdown, right? The last month of the second quarter is going to be June. June is very much going to be Genesis once it gets started. Day one of June might as well be Genesis Week. I'm going to be breathing Genesis Week. I'm going to be getting ready. I'm going to be packing my bag. I'm going to be ready to go. So we're just 2 months outside of Genesis Week, but I'd like a lot to be packed inside those 2 months. I know that once you get to January 1st, you're more in Genesis Week than you are in second quarter. Then maybe you have different priorities for the first couple months of the second quarter than you do in the actual Genesis Week portion. We'll see. We'll hold our breath a little bit because I do want to see how this turns out. But there's a lot that we already know that's brewing. We know Sparklet's on the horizon. We know that the Sparklet earnings are on the horizon. Looking forward to seeing what that looks like. Looking forward to seeing what onboarding looks like alongside that. And I can't stress this enough. Tomorrow starts NFT NYC. Keep your eyes open the next several days. Upland has teased an announcement. Let's see what that announcement is together. 3rd through the 5th is going to be or there are going to be, I should say, there are going to be a number of panels. Dirk's going to be part of one of them. OMA 3 obviously is a big part of the potential metaverse platform exchange. People and groups working in between multiple metaverse platforms. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to what the future of Web3 looks like. Dirk being a part of it, again, founder, co-founder, co-CEO of Upland, being a part of OMA 3 is exciting. Him being a part of the panel, or actually running the panel, emceeing the panel for OMA 3 is going to be exciting. But I think there's going to be some Upland announcement coming out in the next 2 or 3 days as we do finish off NFT NYC 2024. And then we additionally, next week, we're going to have Paris Blockchain Week. We know Dirk's going to be at Paris Blockchain Week. We know that there's going to be an event put on by Uplanders, but there's going to be an Upland event around Paris Blockchain Week. So if you're going to be in the area, if you want to be in the area, look out for more details for that. But I do also want to stress that is another big event. Upland's going to be there. Maybe we get another announcement there too. So keep our eyes open. Be ready for it. These are great opportunities if Upland's trying to find new people in person who already have some foot in the door. They're already into NFTs. They're already into blockchain. It would be a great time to learn more, or Upland to put more out about Sparklet. Again, maybe it's speculation. Maybe it's just keeping our eyes open, but it would be the right time for something like that to potentially happen if people are being strategic. So we'll keep our eyes out over the next week to see what announcements come. But for tonight, thank you for being here. As always, Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. PT. Start late often because we do get things started as conversation in the Upland Discord Cafe. Still a thing, still there, still glad to see people there. And with that note, end of the show, we always do turn things back over to the cafe. If you are there, thank you so much for being here. Please feel free to unmute your mics. The floor is yours.